Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife, and the man you just got done watching slam dance that douchebag who was trying to assault that woman goes by the name of Andy Murray. Recently, that video footage has gone viral online. And just like every other video that goes viral online, people had questions, especially since the video clip is only like a minute and a half. However, the top comment in the middle of all those questions seemed to be that a lot of people thought this was fake or staged. Well, let's go ahead and put that to rest right now.
Now, I want to talk about the video that's circulating online about the woman that was attacked right here last night outside my shop here. I own Container Coffee. Everyone has sent me the video about that poor woman that was getting attacked. And there was fair play. There was a guy who seemed to be in the right place at the right time. And he was able to interject, and thankfully he was able to stop the fight. The reason I want to make a video is I've been reading the comments and some of the pages that are sharing it, and there is some absolutely disgustingly racist and downright horrible stuff been said online. So I wanted to see what the story was behind it, because everyone at the moment is assuming the story, and here's what I found out. So I saw footage of the whole incident before this lad pulls up. And what had happened was that couple had been there for at least 15 minutes beforehand, smoking something out of a pipe that they then dropped on the ground. Then they couldn't find whatever that something was that they had dropped on the ground. And that's when they started to argue with each other. So looking at these comments here, he's not another migrant. They clearly knew each other before they were there. They were clearly smoking something together before that man got there. Thankfully, the man did get there, because obviously they ended up getting into a fight, but it is not what these comments are saying.
Now that we've established that the video is 100% real and this really did happen, let's go see what Andy had to say about the situation.
My name is Andy Murray. I started training about 8 years ago. I've only trained in SPG Ireland. Purple belt now, 3 stripes. Everything I've learned, I'm a product of SPG Ireland. But I'm proud of that too. It's always been a great atmosphere. Where we always encourage each other, never miss Mondays. It's one of our taglines, every day, bro. I even have it all on the back of my custom phone case as well. True and true, every day, BJJ for life.
Walk me through that night and what was going on.
Sure. I was staying over with a couple of friends. There was a bit of a party there. We were socializing. Became too late, so I said, right, it's time for me to go. And I'd planned, there was no place for me to sleep there. I'd planned to sleep in my car. I have a lovely big bed here. I'm Tesla Model Y, and big ass mattress, so it's very, very comfortable. So I planned to sleep where I parked before we went into the party. But when I went down to my car, I noticed when other people were starting to move their cars away, it revealed I was in a bike lane and a clear way that becomes a clear way at 7 a.m., which was only about 4 hours away. So there's no way I could get any decent sleep, and I very reluctantly took off my shoes. I took off my shoes, got back into the driver's seat, and I said, "Feck it, I will drive." I know there's a car park only 200 meters away, which is just outside Guinness's gate. It's a famous spot, people would know. But as soon as you go into it, it's kind of like a dog leg. You need to go in and turn around, and behind the first building, you're turning around. That's when I saw the young lady. She had her back against the wall, and the massive guy, nearly looked twice her size, was just peering over her. Obviously very aggressive. They seemed, obviously there's something wrong here. So I was just thinking of my shoes. Feck it, I'm going to have to get my shoes on. Something's going to happen here. I didn't even slow down. I just knew I'd have to drive around, park in this angle where it's pointing to get the lights of the car over there. And look, for a moment, it did get more physical, quicker, more hustling and bustling. So reach for the shoes, and then as soon as I had the shoes and footwell here, now look over, and he is full on hitting her, and they're having a fight. And so I'm smashing my feet into the shoes, and at the same time throwing the phone up onto the dash. Shoes are on, I'm out and I'm running. But naturally, trap his arms, because it's way more salubrious when you're taking the back that the arms are trapped as well. So I took his arms, and I just love to throw people around, but this guy, he did try and panic a little bit, try and move. He was saying, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, what you doing?" But still, I took him down to the ground, kind of face planted actually, but then still continued in that motion and in that roll to get my left hook in, then the right hook in. Had the seatbelt on nice and tight, but then moved to finish, moved to get the rear naked choke hold on. And this is when the girl is still panicking, looking to do. And I says, "Look, go run for safety." Like as if to say, "I got him now. Go run to safety." And this is when I answered him. I says, "You can't be beating on women. You're going to go sleep now." And I just keep the choke on. Had the hand at the back of the head, and everything was proper on. That's when you know it's in. And I just held it, and then I breathe in, and I just took every bit of space in his torso and crushed him until he was limp, flailed a little bit. His legs went crazy. He lost his shoe, scraped my arm a little bit. I was thinking I might have to take off my watch just to make this a more perfect choke. But thankfully he just scraped me a bit, and yeah, it felt like a long time, but then he just went limp. I let him go. He rolled over to the side naturally into a recovery position, so I didn't have to readjust him. I heard him breathe, heard him snore a bit, and as I got up to walk away, I was happy he was safe. So I quickly ran into the car, and I got out of there because I don't want any hassle from the lucky loos that were looking in and not doing any. There was two men there that were standing way back in the shadows that I only noticed when I was going back to the car, and they weren't. I'm like, they're proper full size men at that hour. They weren't the ones stepping in, but I did hear one sort of panically complain in a way and reading out my reg, like as if he was reporting me as I was a problem. Sped out of there, more so to get up to the girl who was still running down the street, still panicking. And I pull over, and she's still crying. I said, "Come on, get in. I'll get you somewhere safe. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry." I just tried to keep reassuring her. So she got in, and then we went. We drove kind of out to the edge of the city to a nice calm spot, actually close to it was on the coast. And then we talked about what's going on. She's in a bit of a situation herself. She's in between hostels. She keeps getting robbed in hostels, so she was not able to get one that night, and she was unfortunately on the street and then attacked by this guy. She said she was able to share with me that she had a bereavement back in her hometown, Limerick, which is about 2.5 hours drive away. I was contemplating driving her there, but we couldn't get any of her friends to accept her to come in at that hour. So we agreed that the best thing to do is to bring her to the local a big bus depot, Bus Hours, and that's where I dropped her, and she was happy enough after that.
So as you pulled up, what went through your mind when you saw the situation?
Feck it, I'm gonna have to do something, and I'm gonna have to find a new spot to sleep, and I'm really tired. And yeah, I'm really tired, and I really want to sleep. And I was also concerned about my plans for the next day, which is to go to open mat.
As you were walking up, were you concerned about the fact that he might have had a weapon? There might have been someone else involved?
No, no, I took his arms out of the equation. And look, he was down and out within a minute. You can't do a robbery that quick. No.
Well, there were people online who were saying that it was fake. And they stated many reasons why they believed it to be fake. One of the reasons was that there was a camera involved. And of course, I'm sure you have your reasons, but maybe you can explain to people what made you want to set the camera up and what made you want to record.
Well, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew I would stop this situation from continuing, and I wouldn't damage this person. I'm like, even after he was unconscious, there was no way I would think about doing an armbar or anything like that, or breaking any bones or anything like that. All I wanted to do is clearly get this girl in distress to safety, and I don't want any charges brought upon me. So when I pressed record, Fortunately enough, the video cut part of the attack as well, him on her before I was involved, and I'm there going to stop an attack. So as far as I know, I'm okay to do this, and I didn't damage the guy permanently. I just put him asleep. I just put him asleep, and we got out of there. Going back to the number one rule of the self-defense, which is get out of there.
One of the things people had mentioned was that there were no strikes. There was no punching or kicking. Could you go through your mindset there too?
I don't punch or kick. I used to. I did train MMA. I did the Alta program. I did that 6 months after I joined SPG, just to figure out what to do. I loved MMA. Here's a fun fact, not many people know. The fourth time I was asked to do a final, 25 minutes or so before the main event was on. The main event opponent had been doctored, taken out. His blood pressure was too high, and my friend who I brought there to help warm up the guys had said, Andy will do it. And I was sitting there in the audience, loving all the matches, loving the atmosphere. And I promised my girlfriend that I wouldn't do anything crazy. So I left my gym bag, gum guard, and everything behind. So I wouldn't do anything crazy. But thanks to the SPG tribe, they were able to get every little bit of things that I needed. Garments, even remolded a gum guard. At the time, I had braces, and even remolded a gum guard that someone else reused that night. And then we went in and did the match. 3 rounds, got it done with the rear naked choke. Alta will sort anybody's confidence out, whether or not they think they have this in them. They absolutely do.
Rich Chu is the guy in charge of Train Alta, and Alta
Yeah,
is a fantastic program. I think it's really cool to see. What were they arguing about?
she was shouting at the time when I was running up, uh, uh, "Give me me money, give me my money," which sounded like he was robbing her. That's what it sounded like to me. Nothing good at the back of a building at quarter past 3 in the morning. Happening in this scenario. It did not look good. But that's what I heard them say. Give me my money, give me my money. She was saying to him.
When you pulled up, had kicks and punches already been thrown? Was he already in the middle of an
Oh,
assault?
no, it all started. So it started with the leering, and then it continued with some jostling, and then as my shoes were on, then there was punches, several. I mean, she had a big bruise, a big lump on her head from one of the punches as well that he gave her. Also, it took her a good 30, 40 minutes to calm down afterwards. She was she was panicking, like hyperventilating.
If you had any advice to give to anybody when it comes to situations like this, right? What advice would you give them?
If you don't know BJJ and you don't feel confident to engage, then get out of there, call for help, make a big scene. You haven't got some sort of martial arts experience. I can't really recommend diving in there, but get to a BJJ gym and do some self-defense seminars and get a handle on it. Once you do this, maybe go to some open mat and find some strange people and try your best with them and let them do their best with you, and then get comfortable in the uncomfortable. There's always situations like this outside. The streets are scary places, but you don't need to get involved. Um, but unfortunately, I felt obligated to.
What do you have to say to anybody who thinks that this was faked or staged?
Sounds very naive. And it also sounds like a compliment to my videographer skills. Thank you very much. But no, it wasn't fake. It was real, and it was as bad as you can imagine. The poor girl's screams were honest and real, and you can't fake that. Um, and it really, I'm gonna look. Every time I even hear the start of the video, and I've heard it a good few times today because I've never had a video get so popular like this before. But the very, very start of the video is her blood curdling cries, uh, and that's real. It really happened. You can't fake this. And my ability to be able to take the guy down so easily is just a testament to my training in BJJ. You gotta stick to it. It's easy once you keep repeating the drills.
shout anything out that you want to shout out, how people can find you, any information that you want to give right now. This is just your open forum.
I love open mat. I'd love to be invited to any open mat anywhere. Anybody can hit me up on my Instagram. AJ Murray 316. I love the sport. I love the community. It's so strong. It's literally held my life together, and is currently holding my life together. I love my training, and if only other people knew the benefits of this, obviously not just in this physical domain, but the mental health. It's just brilliant. The benefits are really, really endless. Everybody says this, but it's not a cliche. It's real. You just have to go and get comfortable in the uncomfortable, and hug other people.
Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for clearing a bunch of that up. So hopefully now people will understand the benefit of what you did. The reason that it looks so easy is because that guy didn't know what he was doing, and you do. It's that simple. So thank you again.
Thank you very much for your time.
This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by X Marshall. Be sure to answer the question of the day in the comment sections below, so that way you can be entered for a chance to win a $100 gift voucher to be used at xmarshall.com. And even if you don't win, you can still use promo code McDojo10 to get 10% off all of your purchases at xmarshall.com. Have you ever witnessed or been a part of a situation where you had to step in and help save someone's life? If the answer is yes, I'd love to know that story in the comment sections below. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, memberships. Check out McDojoLife.com. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He call himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip on here, Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to